Ladies and gentlemen, again. As father of the bride, and I hope you can all hear at the back. Can you hear at the back there? Good. I'm shouting a little bit. As father of the bride, I have the great pleasure of making the first speech. It is over 32 years since I was allowed to speak my mind. And so this is too good an opportunity to miss. With no advice from my other half. Since Laura was very small, she always said to me, "Daddy, Daddy, make sure you have enough money to pay for my wedding." And strangely enough, just before Laura came down earlier today, and I brought her down the stairs and to her wedding, just talking up in the room when she was getting ready, and one of your bridesmaids, I think, mentioned about weddings, and when did you first start talking about weddings? And in fact, I'm quite right what I say, when Laura did say it was it was an early age, Laura said, when did you start talking to me about weddings and paying for weddings? 11 or 12. Laura was 11 or 12. She saw the Friends TV show and someone on it, and at that age she was saying I had to save up for a wedding. That's true. Anyway, so for many years I have been preparing for this day. I always thought that Laura's wedding reception would be in a local hotel, but Huntsham Court is perfectly acceptable. I must admit that I am the proudest dad in the world with Laura here today. I think you will all agree with me that she looks beautiful, stunning, and radiant in her wedding dress. We are very happy that she has found someone, Andy, who she obviously loves and cares for very much.
Make you smile whenever you're sad. Carry you around if your arthritis is back. All I wanna do is grow old with you. Get your medicine when your tongue aches. Build you a fire if the furnace breaks. Oh, it could be so nice. Grow old with you.
So Andrew, do you freely take Laura to be your wife?
I do.
Will you love her, respect her, and stand by her through all your life together? And Laura, do you freely take Andrew to be your husband? Will you love him, respect him, and stand by him through all your life together?
I could be the man who's old with you. I wanna go home with you. I wanna go home with you.
I think Andy and Laura had marriage in mind well before Andy proposed. I know this because Andy dropped a few hints in some conversations that we had between the two of us. But the biggest clue that Laura felt the same way came at my own wedding back in August 2011. I'm sure you're all familiar with the wedding tradition that involves all of the single ladies gathering in a group, and she's remembered, and the bride throwing the bouquet. The symbolism of this being that the person that catches it would be the next to get married. Well, as the ladies gathered at our wedding, amongst them were Laura and my small 10-year-old cousin Emma. My wife Jane threw the bouquet and Laura sprang into action. She was determined to be the one that caught it, which she did, but during the process she managed to punch my cousin in the head. I knew based on that evidence that Laura was pretty keen on getting married. Of course it was an accident, no damage was done, and after Laura had done it, she found my cousin and gave her the bouquet, which made my cousin very happy. But what I will say is to all you single ladies out there, be thankful Laura's doing the throwing today.
Andy works as a 3D stop-motion animator, making animated films that we see today in some of children's most loved TV shows, for example, Rasta Mouse, Ripper the Bear and Postman Pat. Andy also does film directing, editing and effects. And last year, Andy worked in the official music video for Ryan Keane's debut single, Focus. We heard Ryan earlier today at the wedding service, and thank you, Ryan. For Ryan's music video, Andy won the Best Music Video category in the Limelight Short Film Awards 2012. Well done, Andy.
As this is Andrew's day, we'll talk a little bit about him. I've known him quite a while now. Almost as long as I've known Dave. Right from a very young child, Mum had to always have paper and pencils and crayons in a handbag. And he always had this single vision of what he wanted to do. Right from a young child, he knew where he was going. He was animating at 7, 8, 9, and it's this single vision that kept him going from Manchester to Watford, because he knew he'd found the one for him. I'm not going to be able to do this much longer. There's one thing that you notice as you go through life. In here is a typical example. Everybody that comes to a wedding is usually family or friends. And this is the first wedding I've ever been to where the friends completely outnumber the family completely. And what does that tell us? It tells us that you are very special people. I don't know much about the history of Laura's friends, but I know that Andrew's friends start from when he was very young. His first school. I know that when we moved to Seaton, he's got friends here from his school from Seaton days. When he went to university, he's got friends here from there. When he went to work in Manchester, he's got friends there. When he went down to Cardiff, he's got friends from there. And more recently, when he branched out into a new field, he's got friends from there. That must say, you're a pretty good guy. I know you're my son and I would be proud, but you're one of the most decent, nice people I've ever met. You deserve to be very happy, and I know Laura's going to make you very happy.